Hello everybody, here's a little video of a repair job that I'm doing on a 1960 Sea King Apollo. It's my little project boat. This boat came with a 40 horsepower Evinrude in 1975. It had a bench and a wood deck in it, and in this shot you can see a little part of the bench that has seats on it. And here's another shot. You look up front, you'll see the bench there again. Now I remember when the Evinrude 40 horsepower came out, and the 1975 model was a great running motor, and this one is no exception, except for it's time for a rebuild on it. It's got a couple of issues, and so we eventually pulled this motor off the boat. Now this boat's got a little age on it and it needs some work done, so we got into it. First thing we noticed was the bench just totally rotten. That needed to come out, and once we got into it more and more, the whole deck just needed to go. It was all wood, it was covered with carpet, a lot of carpet glue put down, and so it was a bit of a mess. The area that you see up front in the boat that's open is the place where the bench was. They just kind of screwed wood right to fiberglass that was there. Once we got the bench out of the way, started peeling back the carpet and everything, we could see that the wood that they had used for the decking was just toast, and underneath was in need of some love and attention as well. The stringers, as well as the support blocks that was supporting the decking, were totally dried, just dry rotted fiberglass, so we had to clean that up real good. Now someone had run the carpet up the side and used carpet glue, and so, well, that's a mess. If you ever have to remove it, get on it with a 40 grit sandpaper and a high-speed orbital sander, and that's about the only way to get it off. Alright, getting ready to tackle this indoor-outdoor glue that they ran up the side and get that knocked off so I can get some fiberglass sticking to it. Up here in the front is the bench area that I'm going to totally cover in decking, just cover it right up. And then this is the old area where the deck was. You can see more glue over here. Gonna be grinding that off and just get this down to clean fiberglass so I can get the new deck board fixed up to stick down. I'm going to work on these supports in the middle so the deck doesn't sag. It'll stay nice and flat. Got a orbital sander here with 40 grit. Gonna go at that glue with that. Here's the board I'm going to use for the deck. It's a PVC board. That'll be sanded so the fiberglass can stick to it. And we're going to sand this on both sides. That's a 4x8 sheet, but I got it leaning up against my aluminum boat. I'm going to be cutting that. All I really need is 4x6, so I'll have a little extra to work with to make supports underneath this board for the deck. Alright, so I got one side almost completely done. I'm going to take a clean piece of sandpaper and go over that side again. Even with 40 grit sandpaper, the glue still will clog up the paper. This is all glue here, the indoor outdoor carpet glue, and it's a mess. got about 5 sheets of sandpaper so far. Just keep changing them and hitting it, get it all off. Okay, so did some sanding on here, 40 grit sandpaper, and got all that glue off the side over there and on the other side as well. There was a little strip that went across here that came up this way, and I cut that flat. So when I run the deck board all the way across there, and it's going to come up to here. So I need to put a stringer in here, so when I put either a bench or seats in here, that will be solid and it won't sag. So still have that to do. I just took a sawzall and cut this edge off and made it flat this way, and then took a sawzall on that side over there and cut that down so it's flat with the side. I just have to sand over a little bit more. Now these were the supports for the other decking, and I would imagine because of this fiberglass overhang right here, that was all fiberglass at one point, but this is really thin. This is about a little more than 1/8 of an inch thick. So, you know, being that this was a production boat out of a factory, it was probably thin on mass production. But these are solid all the way. Those are solid. So I'm going to put some resin on those. These are pretty solid. I'm going to put some resin on those and firm them up. And I might even put some poly putty, fibered putty in the holes just to make sure it's solid. I'll probably take the putty and go around it as well and shore it up. And then I'm going to measure the height of this to this and get something of that distance like that, and so it's even. I don't want the deck sagging at all. It'll pull it loose from the side when I attach it with fiberglass. It has that possibility. So we're going to eliminate that and just put a run of wood across these. On the side here, you can see all the indoor outdoor glue is gone. It's all sanded away, and the 40 grit sandpaper with the orbital sander definitely did the job on that. Got that all out, because if you have one speck, well, here's some here, that's indoor outdoor glue, but I'm not going that high. I'm only going to go 4 inches up and 4 inches onto the board, so a total of 8 inches with fiber cloth, 18-pound cloth. So we're getting there slowly but surely. Here's a little shot of the other side. All that glue is gone, and then there's the back. And get up here and show you. This was where the original bench was. There was a bench here that just had 2 seats mounted on top that swiveled, and I'm not sure what kind of seats I'm going to put in yet, but or even another bench, but still got time to decide. Now this edge right here I'll probably leave just for extra strength, and I'll take a piece of that PVC board and cut it to where the deck is going to come straight across, and then I'm going to make that straight across there so the deck in the front will have something to sit on. And I'll just fiberglass that to this. Just need to sand it down a bit. Now this is painted. That's paint. You can see where my sawzall took the paint off. So I'm going to have to sand that paint off, because fiberglass won't stick to that. You got to get down to the fiberglass. So I'll get that done. I'll just keep you posted.